The Beloader team are back at it with some exciting new products for your PlayStation 5. You are going to love this. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Most of you are probably familiar already with the Beloader and the Besavior product line. If you're not, well, I just happen to have a bunch of them right over here. We'll just take a quick look at what they kind of started with and where they went to. So they started out with this, which is the Beloader Dongle. This is just a USB plug that plugs into your PlayStation 5 and allows you to directly plug your PlayStation 5 controller or any other controller into your PlayStation 5 to play PlayStation 5 games. The major downside of this product is it requires remote play. So that introduces a bit of a laggy experience. It also used the Wi-Fi, which depending on how strong your Wi-Fi is and the kind of Wi-Fi you have, you are in for a very rough time. So it didn't take long for them to release the Beloader Pro. Now the Beloader Pro does everything that the regular Beloader does, except that it added a hardwired connection. You could still use Wi-Fi, but it added a hardwired connection, which pretty much got rid of a lot of the lag that users were experiencing over Wi-Fi. However, it still used remote play, which is not ideal. And the big drawback between this and the regular Beloader was it requires you to log into your PSN account on a Chinese website, which some people really had trust issues. They weren't sure they wanted to give up their username and password to a relatively unknown company who could do whatever they want with your information after they got it. Then that led us to the Besavior. Now the Besavior is, it looks like just a regular controller, but it's actually this little backpack that's on the back of this controller. It adds a little OLED screen for programming, and it added 4 back buttons on the back of your controller. Now this is my daily driver controller. So I've installed the Besavior kit on here, but I also added clicky triggers. I added adjustable height thumbsticks. As you can see, there's different heights there, and the 4 back paddles. I liked this mostly because the back paddle positioning was pretty much perfect for how I play my game. It added a number of other features. One of those features is the ability to connect other controllers to the Besavior to use on your PlayStation 5. For example, if you had something like the PXN P50 controller, which we've reviewed on this channel already, it's a very good controller, but it's designed for Switch and PC. Well, you could actually use this PXN controller on your PlayStation 5 with the Besavior, either wired or wirelessly through a Bluetooth connection to the Besavior, which then used the PlayStation 5 controller to connect to your PlayStation 5 and become like a man in the middle. The big downside to that was that you needed to get either a modded controller, which is, $200 or so, or you had to buy the kit for about $50 and then install it yourself. Now, we do have the actual kit, the entire controller kit right here from Besavior. It's just a standard PlayStation 5 controller with the Besavior back paddle installed. The downside obviously is you have to buy either the full kit controller as like with it installed like you see here, or you have to get that kit. Now we installed the kit on this controller. I made a video of me installing the kit on this controller, and at the same time, that's when I added the clicky triggers and the adjustable height thumbsticks. And it's been working really great for me. But I primarily use this as my PlayStation 5 controller. I don't use it as a gateway to use other controllers with my PlayStation 5. But that did make a very high cost of admission because you had to give up a PlayStation 5 controller in order to use your other controller. And a lot of people were asking the question, well, can't you just make a dongle that bypasses the controller and lets me use any controller I want with the PlayStation 5? Well, your questions have been answered because today the Besavior team has launched a video with a brand new product, and we're gonna have a quick look at it. So this is on the Besavior website, and we're gonna just watch what this is. This is called the new PS5 adapter. The Besavior U5 is coming soon. Now this is not like a commercial, so to speak. This is a functional video that shows you how to use this product. So we're going to look at kind of what they connect to it and dissect what this product actually is and how it's working. We're going to talk about it, and we have some exciting news if you stay to the end of the video. So make sure you stay to the end of the video, or skip ahead if you really want to skip the interesting part. This is the part I find the most interesting, but you know, it's up to you. So this is showing how to use the U5 dongle with the ZIM matrix. So this guy right here, this little white thing right here that you see, I'll go full screen here so we can really see it here. This little white thing here, this is the Besavior U5 dongle. So here we see them connecting up the ZIM matrix. That's this white box right here, and they plugged it into the back port on the USB stick. Now that would be similar. I'm gonna pull this out right here. This is the dongle, right? So imagine this is white. They plugged into the USB port in the back. This is what they connected the ZIM matrix into. Next thing they did, they're plugging in the PlayStation 5 controller. So you saw them take a PlayStation 5 controller. There's another USB port on the side here. They plugged the PlayStation 5 controller in here. So this is still using the PlayStation 5 controller as a gateway or the license key. Those of you who have used the Cronus Zen, and that's, I got one over here, there we go. Use the Cronus Zen, you know that you need to plug a controller in the side to use as the license key to make the device act as though it was a licensed controller. So this U5 dongle works the same way. You plug into the side port, only this time you can use a legit PlayStation 5 controller as the license key or the donor controller. And then they're powering it up. So what you see there, it's hard to really tell what's going on here, but what they've done, they've got a power brick right there with a USB cord that goes to the dongle. That is powering the dongle. And then what they're showing you here is that the ZIM matrix box is actually lit up and connected. So it's fully connected. You can now use the app. So there you see them connecting to the app. It is now 100% live. The whole setup is connected all up and ready to play. All you have to do is sync it to your PlayStation 5. How do you do that? Watch, just like that. So you plug it into the PlayStation 5, you push the home button on your PlayStation 5, and then it pops up to say you have a wired USB connection. You can see this right up over here. And then they're going to just start gaming. Now, one thing you're gonna notice, they can move Astro around here, but they don't have mouse support. And then all of a sudden they do a camera cut, and now they're playing Call of Duty with a mouse, with a keyboard, with aim assist, with the ZIM matrix, and they're a rock star, okay? So nothing has changed in the connection except that they do have a PlayStation 4 controller off camera here. And I think that's plugged into the ZIM matrix because the ZIM matrix requires it. So this is one setup configuration, but what this is doing, without the promotional video, I can tell you what this is doing. This is giving you a wired experience using keyboard and mouse on games that were not designed for keyboard or mouse, or if you wanted to use some cheat devices such as your Cronus Zen, you could get it to connect through this U5 adapter. Now this adapter works without remote play. So this B loader right here uses remote play. This U5 dongle does not use remote play at all. It is a direct connection to your PlayStation 5. There is an exciting feature that they've included in this, which we're gonna try and explain. I just wanna see if they show it in the video so that I can tell you how it works. Because those of you who have used the Besavior for different controller mapping, you know there is one key problem with using that, and they've solved that with this new U5 adapter. The video goes on to show you how to use all kinds of different cheat devices or God mode enabling devices such as the Besavior, such as, you know, whatever we just saw. If you want to watch those, you can see how they connect those up. But those aren't as interesting to me as this next part. This is the U5 controller demo. So we're going to take the U5 controller. You're going to see they're going to plug the PlayStation 5 controller into the side port on the dongle. This is the port that gives you the controller key, I believe. Anyway, this is my guess. I don't know because I don't have my hands on one yet. Or do I? Maybe I do. I'm not sure because we didn't get to the end of the video, and that's where I said we had some exciting news. So here it looks like they've now plugged in the PlayStation 4 controller into the outside port and the PlayStation 5 controller into this one. So it looks like it uses two controllers, and I'm a little concerned about that because it's possible that they're trying to use the PlayStation 4 controller as the connection point. But let's just follow through to see what they're doing. Now they're plugging it into the PlayStation 5. Now you'll see they did not plug in the power port here. And I think that the reason they did not need to plug in the power port was because to use those other devices, they pulled too much power through the device and they needed to just add auxiliary 5-volt power. So in this case, we're just connecting up a different controller to the system, similar to what we talked about using your PXN controller on your PlayStation 5. So here you can see they've connected the controller. That's what they're pointing out here. The controller is now connected through USB hardwired connection. Then they're using a PlayStation 4 controller. So now you can see they are using a PlayStation 4 controller to play this game. Now this is presumably Black Ops Cold War is what it looks like to me, which is a PlayStation 5 title and requires a PlayStation 5 controller. Now, some of you may be haters or doubters and you might be saying, okay, but they could be using a PlayStation 4 version and they just used a PlayStation 4 controller. Big deal. Everybody can do that. So it looks like they're about to do something interesting. So here they go. They've unplugged the PlayStation 4 controller. Now they've plugged in the DualSense Edge controller through a wired connection and it just seamlessly works. Now, it shows up there as a DualSense. So why exactly you would want to use this like this, I have no idea. I don't even know why they would show you this because this would be a normal setup, but you can see DualSense works, obviously. Now they have a USB-C port on here, right here, USB-C cord, plugging in an Xbox controller. I'm curious to know. Okay, so it did not say that there was a controller change, so it still thinks it's a DualSense Edge, but now we're using an Xbox Elite 2 controller with our PlayStation 5 using the Besavior U5 dongle. This is in wired mode. Does it support wireless? I don't know, and this video doesn't seem long enough to say so, but there's the PlayStation Elite. Now we're gonna use a regular Xbox Series X controller. Big deal. Of course we can use that, but now you can see that that works as well. And finally, we're gonna use that other controller. Now, other controller could be anything. It could be a Switch controller. It could be this PXN controller. It can be any controller you want as long as it supports Bluetooth or wired connection. So this is a wired connection and that's it. Okay, so they did not show, unfortunately, the super awesome secret trick that they incorporated in this. Now, those of you who have a PlayStation 5, you know that the PlayStation 5 controller has a unique feature that not many other controllers have, and that would be right up here, the touchpad. But more importantly, behind the touchpad, there are buttons, a button on this side and a button on this side. Many games require the use of these buttons to play the game. Some of them require you to do a swipe on the touchpad or a swipe in different directions. And you can't do that when you're using something like the PXN controller. There's no touchpad on there. There's no swipe option. That's where the genius of the U5 dongle comes in, because they have created a way to simulate touchpad movements from your other controller. Now, I'm not going to get into all of the details about it, but through a certain key press combo on the controller, it makes it so that the analog stick becomes like you're touching the touchpad, and you can simulate all the touchpad swipes that you need to play your game as if you had a PlayStation 5 controller. Now, if you need to push the other buttons on here that are behind the touchpad, they simulate those as well through a certain combo of key presses. It's slightly annoying, but for those of you who really want to use your Xbox Elite controller on your PlayStation 5, you can do that now without remote play, without sacrificing a PlayStation 5 controller to install like the Besavior dongle, and it becomes very plug and play. The next thing you're going to ask is, what about Bluetooth? Can I do a Bluetooth wireless connection to my PlayStation 5? Because most of us don't want to have a USB cord connecting our controller to our system. The answer right now is I really don't know. This video just came out. There's very little details about this. They're currently in pre-order status. They don't even know when it's going to be available yet. But I did notice a small little button on there, and if I back this up, I can show you. So right here, there's this tiny little button right there. I suspect that that button is a Bluetooth button, and you can push and hold that and pair your Bluetooth controller to the dongle and just connect through Bluetooth. I suspect that. But if it does not support Bluetooth in that respect, you could connect something like this, a Cronus Zen, which does support Bluetooth. So you would connect your Cronus Zen to your U5 dongle. Can I stand this up like this? Like that. Which you plug into your PlayStation 5, and then you just go Bluetooth into the Cronus Zen. It does mean you need a Cronus Zen. These are about $100, and it does mean that a lot of people are going to accuse you of cheating because nobody owns a Cronus Zen except for cheaters. And Gears and Tech. Gears and Tech owns a Cronus Zen because you guys ask questions about Cronus Zen, and it normally just sits back here in my videos, just sitting there non-assumingly. If you don't believe me and you think, hey, he's actually a low-key cheater, check out my stream on Twitch. Will quickly come to the conclusion that I'm either a really bad cheater or I'm not using Cronus Zen. And in future videos, now you know to keep an eye out for the Cronus Zen just sitting over there, because in most of my videos it is in plain view all the time. And I'm way too lazy to go back and forth and get my Zen for a video and then play it the rest of the time. Or am I? Maybe I'm not, but I think I probably am. Now, this is all we know about this system so far. I have asked for more questions, but this is where I'm glad you stayed to the end, because the good news is, two good newses for you guys. The Besavior team actually reached out to me and said, hey, Gears and Tech, we know that you enjoy controllers. We know that you like playing with controllers. We know that you like the technology side of controllers, and I'm very curious about how well this device works. So of course, I'm gonna put it through all of the tests possible. So they've agreed to send me one. Now, it's not here yet. They do have the first batch of pre-orders put together, and they are shipping those to content creators such as myself first. So we are going to release videos as quickly as we can. As soon as we get our hands on it, we will do hands-on reviews and tests to make sure that all of this works exactly how I just said. The second good news, they're actually sending me 2 of these U5 controller dongles. That means in a future video, we are actually gonna do a giveaway. Now, we've done giveaways before, and the current format for giveaways is that we're just gonna randomly pick a winner from the comments on our videos. So if you want to win something, potentially this U5 controller dongle, you need to be a subscriber to Gears and Tech and comment. We will pick the most recent comment from our subscribers for the giveaway. Just randomly, when we're filming a video, we'll just figure out who wins it. So to win, you have to be a subscriber and you have to comment often. You also need to watch the next video because we announce the winners in the videos. If you don't find the video and say, hey, you called me as a winner, well, then you're not gonna win the product. I'll give it to someone else until I find somebody who watches the videos and subscribes and comments. It's that easy. Now, this is really exciting. I know I told you guys I'm excited. I don't seem excited because that's just how I am, but I'm actually really excited to try this out because all of the great parts of the Besavior are included in this without having to give up a controller. That means that if you don't like your Besavior back paddle or you don't want to spend all that money, you can buy this. The dongle is going to retail for about $50 US. They do have them available on their website, but the website keeps on crashing, probably because so many people are looking at it and it just can't handle it. But they're going to be available. They're coming soon. And we are going to give you all of the details that you want to know. Leading up to that video, if you have questions, put some comments in the description. When we get the device, I will test everything that that device has to offer, including answering your questions. So any questions you have about the device, throw them in the comments. We will test it together and find out together. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.